In the heart of Pennsylvania, in a sleepy town called Hanover, sat a small, struggling potato chip company with a leaky roof and more dreams than dollars. It was 1931. Chips were a novelty back then. Something you grabbed at a fair, not a staple in every pantry. But Bill and Sally Utz believed their homemade recipe was something special. With a hand-cranked fryer and a tiny kitchen, the couple started Utz Quality Foods. Sally cooked, Bill delivered. Their goal? Make a better chip. Simple, fresh, and lightly salted. Bill drove miles on gravel roads, tossing bags of chips to mom-and-pop grocers. Every delivery was a gamble. The Depression loomed large, and snacks weren't exactly a necessity. Still, customers came back. They said Utz chips tasted different, crispier, cleaner, more real. Word spread. Slowly, the Utz name edged its way into the region's snack aisles. By the 1940s, Utz had a logo, a plant, and a growing fan base. The company stayed fiercely local, family-run, no frills, just great chips in a simple red and white bag. As America industrialized, so did Utz. They upgraded equipment, expanded their kitchen, and started producing thousands of bags a day. Still, every chip went through Sally's original process. The snack industry was heating up. Lay's was rising fast, racking up national deals. Frito was gaining traction in the South. Utz, still local, still loyal, still quietly growing. Competitors spent big on flashy TV ads. Utz didn't. They focused on quality and community. In Hanover, people didn't just eat Utz. They practically grew up on it. The Utz family passed down the business like a sacred recipe. Each generation added something new, more flavors, new packaging, but the heart of the brand remained unchanged. Their potatoes came from nearby farms. Their workers knew each other's birthdays. At Utz, it wasn't about domination. It was about tradition and a damn good chip. By the 1980s, Utz delivery trucks were a common sight across the Mid-Atlantic. They added pretzels, cheese balls, and party mixes. The brand was growing, but still under the radar. Meanwhile, PepsiCo had acquired Frito-Lay, turning it into a snack empire. National grocery chains began favoring massive brands. Utz was still family-owned, still regional, and now it was at risk. Shelf space became a battleground. Big brands paid for prime placement. Utz, without deep pockets or national ads, found itself squeezed between giants. It needed a new plan or face extinction. In 1997, Mike Rice, Sally's grandson-in-law, took over as CEO. He wasn't flashy, but he was strategic. He believed Utz could go national without losing its soul. Rice focused on smart acquisitions. Rather than compete head-on, Utz began buying other beloved regional snack brands, Zapp's in Louisiana, Golden Flake in Alabama, and even Boulder Canyon in Colorado. Each brand kept its identity, but Utz brought them under one umbrella. Suddenly, Utz wasn't just a local chip company. It was a nationwide snack federation. Avengers, but crunchier. They modernized factories, optimized routes, and improved shelf presence. But they still used real potatoes, cooked in small batches. The soul of Utz remained untouched. By 2010, Utz snacks were in Walmart, Target, and Costco. They reached beyond Hanover, beyond Pennsylvania, onto tables in Texas, California, and Florida. Still, most people picking up a bag had no idea of the 80-year journey behind it. To them, it was just a good chip. To Hanover, it was history. Then, in 2020, Utz made its boldest move yet. After nearly 100 years as a private family business, they went public, listing on the New York Stock Exchange. On their IPO day, the Utz family stood together, ringing the opening bell. It was emotional. A small-town chip maker had become a billion-dollar company. The Wall Street Journal called it the quiet snack empire. CNBC said Utz had done what few family brands ever could: scale without selling out. Investors were impressed. Revenue had doubled in a decade. Their acquisition strategy was working. Utz wasn't just surviving, it was thriving, even during the uncertainty of a global pandemic. During COVID, when people craved comfort food, Utz sales surged. Chips were flying off shelves, and suddenly, a little red and white logo found its way into millions of pantries. They say the best stories are the ones you can taste. And Utz? Well, it tastes like Sunday picnics, school lunches, and road trip gas stations. Speaking of snacks, if this story's been crunchy enough to keep you here, you might as well subscribe. We promise more flavor-packed tales, minus the crumbs. Back in Hanover, the Utz factory still gives tours. Locals wave at the trucks. Kids grow up eating chips that their grandparents once bagged by hand. It's rare, a company that modernizes while staying rooted. Utz didn't just grow up, it grew out, stretching across states while holding tight to the values it started with. In a world of mergers and marketing gimmicks, Utz stood for something simple. Make a good product, treat people right, and don't forget where you came from. Every chip still starts with a potato, grown in soil, pulled by hand or harvester, washed, sliced, and cooked in oil. It's not glamorous, but it's honest. And maybe that's why people keep coming back. Not just for the crunch, but for the comfort. For the idea that some things, some flavors, don't need to change. Bill and Sally Utz never dreamed of Wall Street. They just wanted to feed their neighbors. That modest mission became a legacy. One bag, one bite at a time. Today, Utz is one of America's top snack companies, yet it still feels personal, like something passed across a picnic blanket, not pushed by a marketing team. They've won awards, topped charts, and beat out bigger brands. But the real victory? Staying true to their roots while building a future that's crispy, bold, and deeply human. From a two-person kitchen to a national name, the Utz story isn't flashy. It's not about disruption or going viral. It's about persistence, potato slices, and a whole lot of heart. So next time you hear that crinkle before the crunch, think of Hanover. Think of Sally's stove, Bill's truck, and a dream salted just right. Because every chip has a story, and some, like Utz, are worth savoring. Not just for the taste, but for the journey behind it. Utz isn't just a snack. It's a story. One that reminds us, you don't have to be the loudest to last the longest. You just have to be real. And in a world full of flashy flavors and fleeting trends, Utz proves that sometimes the most enduring legacy is the simplest one. A chip, a family, a century-long journey. That's the Utz story. And like all great snacks, it leaves you wanting just one more bite.